Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mental Health Matters. It is 9 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast. That would be the eastern part of 9 p.m. Eastern, I suppose. Why are we here? Because we know, or maybe you don't, maybe your first time here, but two every three gun deaths we hear about are suicides. And look, DJ made it because I forgot that he had a new phone number. My bad. Hi, DJ.
All good. Glad to be here.
I apologize.
Welcome to the show.
Huh, where is he? And then I got your text. I'm like, uh-oh. Because I did text you your old number, not the one you have now. So my bad.
Right on. Well, I am here now and I am off stage.
All good. So yes. Happy Saturday, everybody, or whatever you're watching this, if you're watching the replay. As DJ is always very good about reminding us all, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. So, Suicide Prevention Saturday. Oh, mental health matters because the horribleness of the fact that people will actually go on YouTube and do live suicides. And that's why anything that says suicide gets taken off by YouTube. So, mental health matters. Mental health matters. That is what we are here for, prevention of suicide. So, don't know if y'all noticed, if you read the thing, about cleaning versus deep cleaning. And I'm wondering if any of you are sitting there scratching your head, being like, what does cleaning have to do with mental health? So I am here to tell you that. So, or at least let me rephrase, I am here to tell you what I think cleaning has to do with mental health. Because as you all know, I am not a counselor. I am not here trying to save the world. Um, I'm just trying to give you all a little bit of, sorry, I know you're all over there in chat. Thank you very much for saying hi to everybody. But DJ in a couple minutes, 10, 15 minutes, he will say hi to everybody. So, mental health and cleaning. I don't know what your feed looks like these days on the lovely social media that is the social media of the world. It is a lot of stuff. And in my particular feed, as of late, I have got a lot of things that say clutter is trauma, clear your clutter, clear your trauma. And so in my feed, I get a lot of that. So that's where I came up with let's talk about cleaning. Let's talk about the difference between cleaning and deep cleaning. Now, most of us clean something on a regular basis. And for some of us, that's just taking our shower each day. For some of us, that's doing laundry every day. My mother-in-law used to be amazing, and she would actually vacuum her house every day. And I say amazing because that was not my normal, right? We had a large house, and my in-laws have a small house. And she would do the dishes every day, do the laundry every day, vacuum the house every day. And in the spring and the fall, they would change they'd take their screens down in the fall and wash the windows inside and out. Nothing like that had ever occurred in our house, either my mom's house or my dad's house. And so when I met my in-laws and my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law would be cleaning the windows, I'm like, you clean the windows inside and outside? This is foreign to me. I've never seen this before. But I thought, oh, that's very cool. And so that was like their fall cleaning. And then in the spring, they would do the same thing because not obviously, depending on where you live, you may or may not have ever had storm windows. But here in New England, we have all of the seasons. We have summer and fall and winter and spring. And it gets hotter and colder. So in the fall, they would take the screens out and put the storm windows in. And then in the spring, again, they'd clean the insides and the outsides of the windows. And they'd take the storm windows out and put the screens back in to let all that fresh air for that spring and summertime. So cleaning was something that I didn't know anything about. In that, did I have clean clothes? Yes. Did I have a clean bed? Sometimes. Was my room ever clean as a child? Maybe, maybe not. Give you a quick little story. What grade was I in? 5th or 6th grade? I'm not entirely sure. Probably 5th grade. I played hooky one day. And the way that I played hooky was I got up and I hid in my laundry pile. That's how big my laundry pile was. I was not that small. My laundry pile was just that big. And so, yes, my mom came up to my room. She opened the door. I wasn't in bed. She assumed I'd got myself on the bus, as I did often. And I just stayed in my room all day. I didn't stay in my laundry pile all day. But so, anyway, back to the cleaning thing. How with seasons, we change stuff up, or some families do. Like I said, until I met my in laws, I didn't know about this cleaning of the windows inside and out. So, cleaning, here we go. Deep cleaning, regular cleaning. To me, your regular cleaning, well, sorry, I'll use my in-law as the example. It's like every morning she would get up, she'd get breakfast on the table, get the lunches for the boys to go off to work with, and then she'd do her laundry. And while the laundry's getting done, she would vacuum the house and do the dishes, and then go off and run around, do whatever errands and whatnot she had. And like that was her day. And in my household, we were always working. My dad was a farmer, and for those of you who know the farming life, you're just always working. Um, and then my mom had various different jobs, but it was different. So, deep cleaning, regular cleaning, cleaning, picking up stuff, putting stuff away. Deep cleaning. That's the insides and the outsides of the windows. That's wiping the baseboards down, all of that sort of stuff. And how does this relate to our mental health? Well, this is an example of cleaning here, right now. All of you beautiful people who are out here watching this, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, does not matter. Hopefully you are here in hopes to get something that will help your noggin and figure out something that makes your life a little bit better. And believe it or not, cleaning is that thing. Because, ready? When we pick stuff up and put it away, we get to have a little bit more of order in our life. I know when I'm overwhelmed, my desk might be slightly overwhelmed. And yes, there's a pile of stuff over here that I need to take care of. But when we are truly overwhelmed, everything sort of feels like it's chaos. And cleaning, whether it's just picking stuff up and putting it in a neat pile, that gives you that little bit of accomplishment. And then we take that pile, and yes, I really do have a pile over here, of course. We take that little pile and then we sort it and we give it homes, whether it's the garbage, a filing system, or whatever it needs to go. Then we are giving ourselves yet another piece of accomplishment. And it's doing multiple things for us when we clean. One, we're building our confidence because we're able to clean. Two, we're actually organizing things. And one of the things that helps our mental capacity is when things are organized and put together. And every night when you go to bed, or for those of you who don't sleep much or sleep other than overnight, when you're sleeping, your brain is doing just that. It's cleaning up and reorganizing all of that stuff that you got today. And when you wake up in the morning, whatever you experienced the day before, your brain has had a chance to clean everything up and start over. And this is why sleep is the number one health factor you have that you have control over. I have some crazy friends who have very odd sleep programs. I don't even know what to call them other than programs because they're very different than what most of us do. So cleaning is just sort of that euphemism, but it's also the actual thing of cleaning. Now, sorry, that bug is going to be dead. I think I got it. I'm not really 100% sure. But so the little things that we do, picking stuff up, putting stuff down, making a cute pile, washing the dishes, putting them away, having some organization, laundry, sorting, washing, all of that sort of stuff. We all sort differently as well. Apparently either there's two bugs or I didn't get the one that I thought I got. So every little thing that we do that makes our personal physical environment better for us really does help here because it allows us to be calmer and we can then tackle whatever the things are that we really need to. All right, DJ, my friend, I will look at the comments. If you would like to say hello to everybody. I've already got comments that I'm going to be laughing at momentarily.
Right on.
Laughing at, I should say.
Straight. So joining us this evening, first in the room was the Krabby Turtle. Mike Ballinger is out there. So is Sorry Fan 93. Gizzard Gary is out there. So is Chris Brancato, the Atomic Punk. Got Jamie JH 586 out there, cleaning guns. DM Foss is out there. So is Abigail Sorsha Finnegan and Hillbilly Up. Sorry, I'm tripping all over my lips this afternoon or this evening. I need to get something to drink. And were you maybe referring tacitly to me when you were talking about people with odd sleep schedules? I did get about 3 hours before today's show.
No, you're actually well, yeah. So you do have a little bit. Yes, you have a weird, but no, there's one of my high school friends. She literally hasn't slept since high school. It's like she was actually one of the people I was thinking of. And then I have another friend, Jonathan, also barely sleeps at all. You at least sleep from time to time. These people like legit don't sleep like maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time their entire lives. So no, I actually wasn't calling you out on that. You just threw yourself out there. I was not doing that.
Well, there was the bus and I stepped out. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
did.
I actually do have a few friends that are like that as well, whose lives are so busy that they'll hit the pillow for 3-4 hours a night, get up and go all the way through. And these are not people that get naps or sometimes even get to put their feet up after their day's tasks have completed before they get everything going for the evening.
Well, so these my friends who are like this, that's just like that. It's not even that they're that busy. It's just they literally don't sleep. It's like a disorder sort of thing. So yeah, no, it's not even about the busyness. It's just they don't sleep. So, all right, I am pulling up Jamie here. Oh, cleaning house and cleaning guns are two different subjects, but it is not, because I know when I pull apart a dirty gun and I clean it and then I put it back together, I still get that feeling of accomplishment. Same as going into the bathroom and picking up all the dirty clothes, getting rid of that, wiping the mirrors down, all that sort of stuff. And you still get a sense of accomplishment. So no, Jamie, I disagree. Cleaning house and cleaning guns are not two subjects, because you accomplish something. And this is where we tend to build our happiness and our confidence is, oh yeah, we should build things and accomplish things. All right, Sri Fan says mom was neurotic about cleaning up the house and was very specific on how she wanted stuff cleaned. Yeah, I'm there too a little bit. There isn't tons of things that I am specific about, but I will tell you today I've been prepping for vacation because we're leaving tomorrow, and I'm going through the towels. And my grandmother taught me that the towels get folded in thirds. So you take your towel and you go 1, 2, and then you fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. And at one point she told me, she's like, well, that's because so you can just grab it and you can know that it's just one. Now, somebody else was doing laundry for me and they folded it in half, and they folded it in half and half again. And I unfolded them all and refolded them. So I'm probably a little bit like your mom, but we all have our things though, right? Just as I hadn't ever known anyone to do inside and outside. Heck, the original house I lived in, I think had some stupid amount of windows, and they were never cleaned or rarely ever cleaned. So, but we have our things that we like. Like for me, I was thinking of the towels because it's 1, 2, and then fold it over. And I don't know, it's how they do it in the hotels and stuff like that. And I've got a lot of family in hospitality, so that's what we do. But there's got to be something. Oh, ready? Here's a question for y'all to answer in the side chat. If you have a dishwasher, who is better at loading it? You, your significant other, your children, your mom? Do y'all think you're the best at loading the dishwasher, or do you know who's best at loading the dishwasher? Or even if you don't have a dishwasher, you just do it by hand and you have to put your dishes in the dish drainer. It's like, who's best at doing that? My mom creates this thing we call Mount Dishmore, because she will literally, because she hates putting away the dishes, she'll wash the dishes, but she does not like putting them away. So she creates what we call Mount Dishmore, because she can just stack that thing up till about halfway to the ceiling. So So yeah. All right. So Surya fan, yeah. Old storm windows. They are a pain in the neck for sure, without a doubt. And like I said, we had them, but really honestly, we would sorry, I'm just getting caught up on the comments. So topic, I'm field tripping a CZ75. Yes, cleaning is good. And I have a CZ75. Did I clean it lately? I think I might have. I think it got really, really dirty and I finally cleaned it. I actually cleaned all of my 22s, well, let me rephrase, all the 22s I have here in the office because there's more than one. So, all right. So, yeah. So, do answer that question because I'm going to be curious to see in the chat wherever y'all are responding to and from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, who is the best at loading the dish drainer or the dishwasher? Because here's another one of those things, like Surya Fan said about his mom having that specific way that she wanted stuff done. Most of us have a specific way we want stuff done or that makes sense to us. One more way, our mental status equates to our cleaning, because there are things that people don't care about. Like I give you the towel example of where it's like 1, 2, 3. I'm holding it here so that I can get that and then fold it in half and fold it in half. I like how it looks. And maybe it's an honor to my grandma because that's what she taught me to do. But it's like, that's what I got to do when I fold stuff. And then I was doing laundry today, if you can't tell. And then there were sheets. And one of the jokes that I see often is the fitted sheets. Nobody knows how to fold them. And I'm like, oh, you just take the corner and you stick the corner inside there and you wrap it around and then you take the two corners and put them together and then you just roll it up. But we all have our ways that we want to do stuff. We have what we learned, and then we have what we learned and then how we made it for ourselves. And cleaning, folding towels, folding sheets, filling the dish drainer, filling the dishwasher, we have ways that make sense to us. But if I came to your house and you didn't tell me anything about your dishwasher and I just went and picked up some dishes and put in your dishwasher, I'm pretty sure I would not fill your dishwasher the same way that you would fill your dishwasher because my experiences are different than yours. And I hope y'all kind of can see how this is getting into, well, we have to remember when we're dealing with other people, our rules and our expectations are not the same as the people around us. I have students from all walks of life. And I had a student this week who was telling me about her sexual assault. And it's one of these things where she's like, oh, I don't want to say anything. I'm going to upset you. And I'm just like, been there, done that, as horrible as that may sound. And it's that whole thing of like, well, her expectations were that I would be upset when I heard about it. And I'm just so used to hearing about it because people tell me about their experiences and I've had my own experiences, but she and I are still not going to deal with that same thing in the same way because we have different rules and regulations in here of how we're supposed to take all of that in and deal with it. So, laundry, mental health, cleaning windows, mental health. Anything that we do on a daily basis is actually really based on our mental health. I do more cleaning when I am in a good spot. And just like eating well, I know the more that I clean and the more organized my space is around me, the happier I am. And I know that I'm not going to pull it up, but I saw, I'm pretty sure it was Surya Fan who said that he's got a Tasmanian devil for a roommate. And if you really like having everything clean and you got a Tasmanian devil for a roommate, that is not a good combo. Or is it? Because it allows you to choose how you're going to react to that. And remember that you like your stuff neat, so your stuff can stay neat. They don't care. Their stuff is disaster. If you can deal with that and let that roll off your back, and realize that we have different ways of dealing with stuff. We need to have different things in our lives. And the way you fold towels, if you're coming to my house and folding towels for me, Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to do it thirds. And does that make me a control freak? Possibly. Yeah, could be. I don't know, DJ. You can weigh in on this. So.
I don't know how much of a control freak that makes you, but I definitely understand things being systematic. And there's a comment from Hillbilly Up that I'll bring up in just a second.
Sure.
But if you don't hold the towel in front of you, fold it down by a half and then down by a half and then collapse each side in from the left and right into your thirds, you're a heathen. I have my particular way of doing things. I have my particular way of folding shirts, of like everything. And I wasn't taught this. It was kind of that system. But I'll tell you, I have never really revised anything until I
Mm.
learned how some of the guys in the military learned to fold things. And there are some
Oh.
efficiencies based in there that far outstripped mine. And I was happy to include them as efficiencies. Anything that gets the corners that much more square, or that many more things stacked in a pile without falling over, sort of deal. You wouldn't know this by any other part of my life, but I'll bring up that comment from Hillbilly Up right now because I can relate to this one as well. He says, whoa.
I didn't do it. I wasn't touching it.
He says, the dishwasher, for the love of God, people, put the forks together, the spoons together, knives together, pointing down. Those, exactly. And
Yes.
that's the kind of organization that I prefer with my stuff, too. I worked in a cafeteria dish room my
Oh
freshman
yeah,
year
I
at
was a
university.
dishwasher at my mom's restaurant. And so when you are getting paid to wash dishes, that is how your dish drainer looks, because you're putting them in there to be put through the dishwasher. So yes, everything is sorted. And so yes, I love that my children will do the dishes when I ask them to. But yes, I too want my forks together and my spoons together. My not butter knives can be up, but the sharp knives need to be down. So there is some variety there. But yeah,
I like this from Gizzard Gary. I'll bring it to your screen and say that tells us every shirt in my closet faces to the left. T-shirts all together are sorted by color. Polos all together. Button downs next to that one, maybe Gary, with the short sleeves, and then button downs with the long sleeves after that. Yeah, I'm relating to a lot of what's going on in the chat tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's just like so yesterday was my last day of work before we're getting ready to go on vacation. And so it's one of these things where I've had a whole day to myself where I literally had nothing planned other than getting ready for vacation. And it's just like the sense of accomplishment I have that my piles of laundry are getting done. And like Gary right now, at least my shirts are getting hung up, and they are not color coded necessarily, but they are typecast in that long sleeves, short sleeves, no sleeves, layering shirts, because girls have all sorts of stuff. Um, all right, I just want to bring up barbecue thing. Nadia for Connecticut governor. That's only because we called barbecue the other day, and so barbecue got to talk to Nadia. And Nadia is still barbecue's favorite because we actually went and visited him in Pennsylvania. I guess it's 2 Christmases ago now. So, but hey, let's see. All right, DJ, what else we got? Are there others you want to pull, or am I just gonna run through here?
Oh yeah, I've got my favorites out there. We can kind of mix and match as you want to go. I like this from Gizzard Gary as well. Dishwasher swishwasher. My dishwasher is my two hands, Dawn Ultra and a rack in the other sink for drying. Yeah. I got a question for you though. Do you ever towel dry and put away, or are you air dry in a rack?
Well, so if we're teaming it, then yes. So if one person is washing, the other person is drying, putting away. If we've got time to just let them air dry, then no, we'll just let them air dry. Just because, and then, or yeah, for the most part, because if I'm going to go do dishes and there's stuff in the dish drainer, then I'll just put those away. But if we're doing it together, like holidays are when we do dish drying, because there are multiple people doing all of the things. But if there's only just myself, then no, not really, because by the time I'm done filling the dishwasher plus the dish drainer from the hand washables, then I'm ready to take a nap. So I'll go take a break while it finishes drying. So, And like, so what Foss said about better at stacking and organizing, but my wife is better at being motivated to stack and organize. So yeah, actually, so there used to be, do you guys ever watch Brain Games? DJ, do you ever hear the game, see the TV show called Brain Games?
No,
All
not that
right.
I can recall.
So here's the thing about Foss's thing about better at stacking and organizing. Wife is very motivated. So here's the thing. They did a contest where they took all of these things and you had to pack them into the trunk of a car. And they had men versus women because they were discussing men's brains versus women's brains. And for real, as much as I could be snarky and say, oh, he just thinks he's better, statistically, he is actually better because men have a better spatial awareness to be able to stack things better. As to women being more organized or more motivated, I don't know that that actually matters. Or is, I mean, for him, it's true. But yeah, so men generally do have better spatial awareness. Wow. Like you said, DJ, words are hard.
I don't know what it is today. I think I must have folded something wrong, and this is karma. It's coming back.
Oh, that's it. Is able to fold. I roll it into a ball and done. Yes, a lot of people roll fitted sheets into a ball and are done, but it's definitely, we have our things. And it's like, again, back to what social media feeds us, right? I was being fed PTSD, put that stuff down, trying to get rid of your things, and how clutter can be a sickness. And it can be. Like, I can't find it right this second, but I know Surya Fan was saying that his roommate was a hoarder. And I've met people who are hoarders and really have that problem where you're literally walking through aisles in an open room, or what for most of us would be an open room. And it is just kind of, there's all different levels of everything. So DJ, you got any friends who are hoarders? Have you ever been in a house or a apartment where you literally have that little area to get through?
Yep, absolutely. Where you're worried about leaning towers of whatever it is in this room or that room kind of thing. And there's a trail that leads kind of down the middle of each room and connects them all, the little circuit highway sort of thing. Yep. And there is a difference between hoarding and collecting. And I suffer from a failure to be at being able to differentiate the two sometimes.
Well, wait a second. If we talk about your guitar collection, that's collecting. That's not hoarding, right?
Others would definitely beg to differ, and on some days when I'm scratching my head and wondering why, oh why, or how, actually some days I can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and so I actually went to my counselor this week and I asked him, I'm like, is this true? Is clutter and like trauma related? And he's like, not really. It just kind of is like what you were taught. Or what you weren't taught, actually, because one of the funny things I think about my husband and I is we are actually horrible about being clean in our home for two exactly polar opposite reasons. Like I started this chat with you guys tonight, is like my mother-in-law was amazing. It's like vacuumed every day, laundry every day, in and outside of the windows, all of those things. However, because she did all of the work, she never taught her son how to do all of the work. Then over on my side of things, my mom did not clean. Like I said, I was able to hide in my pile of laundry. And so my husband and I are not awesome at cleaning, not because of trauma, but because we weren't taught as children how to clean. His mom did it all for him. My mom just didn't do it. And so I had to learn, and luckily I found my in-laws, so I got to learn more cleaning, and also just from going away. So, all right, let's see, what do we have? Had to abandon my collections at my old house when I got kicked out. Well, maybe your mom will get them back to you. And Difference between hoarding and collecting is how much you enjoy it. So yes and no. When you collect something, where is it? There's so many things. But here, oh wait, I'll get this. Difference between hoarding. All right, this is my silly little unicorn. He's actually supposed to be a can hold my phone. It's a phone stand. So I will keep it because it brings me joy, right? So that's sort of the collecting mentality. The hoarding mentality is, I don't know when I'm going to need this, but I'm sure that I'm going to need this. And I'm afraid to let it go because when I need it, I won't have it. So the challenge with hoarding is more of that scarcity mentality of that I don't have enough, I am not enough, I need to keep all of these things. And that's a really high level, and that's not how all hoarders are, but that is the short version of it. But back to the joy it brings you. If you watch something like Marie Kondo, she will say, okay, if you pick this up, does it bring you joy and happiness or doesn't it? And this is actually a gift one of my friends gave me. It says strength and energy, and it smells lovely. So this brings me great joy because it's a candle that someone thought to get for me, and it smells lovely. And I have a friend of mine who sells candles as well. Now, let's see, what else do I have here? Some chalk. Well, have I had this chalk here for a while? Yes. Why? Well, because I had a chalkboard in here probably about 5 years ago. Do I still have the chalkboard? I do not still have the chalkboard. So why do I still have the chalk? Well, because someday I might get a chalkboard, or maybe I could use this on my driveway, or I don't know. So am I hoarding this? And it could be, because I'm like, well, but I could use it maybe someday. And I did not pre-stage this, so that was just from Boss's comment. All right. What am I missing, DJ? I feel like
You're missing that comment. Foss injecting some humor, saying if you just throw away dirty laundry, the new ones come pre-folded. Job done.
Okay, all right. That
Strategies.
There you go.
Strategies for success and survival. We find them where we need them, and sometimes comic relief takes care of many, many things. Thanks, Foss.
All right. What is VAO talking about? Do I want to know? National news haven't seen the flock of aircraft bringing in and out of the tanker base here. Ooh, I'm going to go with fires.
Fires, yeah.
What I'm missing. So here on the East Coast, we just have the red sun from all of the fires in Canada. So I did not know that Viejo is also burning down the house out on the West Coast. So, all right, my friends, I think, Viejo, I hope all is well in your area. I know I saw his thing, not much good news. All right, hold on. A little more containment, but it continues to rage out of control, burned another 7,000 acres overnight. Lots more evacs. All right, but Viejo, the question we have for you, sir, are you getting evacuated? Are you close to being evacuated? We will certainly hope that is not the case. All right. My goodness. Cleaning. I guess it gets me so excited. I just go on and on and on because we've already gone to 35 minutes, which is definitely longer than I usually try to go here. So, DJ, any last words on cleaning? Things that we should talk about? Correlation of cleaning versus mental health, understanding how they relate.
Absolutely. Like when not too many minutes into the conversation this evening, I was reminded of a scene from the movie Aliens where Ripley goes to Newt and says, "Oops, I made a clean spot." If you start something, it's better than it was before. Any success is a success, no matter how small or measured the step. So if you can just get one little spot clean, another spot can join it, and another, you can link them together. But if you just make that single step of progress, you get to chart success on that project, on that day, and in those moments when you might need it most.
Awesome. Absolutely. I do love it. It is just like, it makes me happy. And then I get into it, I'm like, then why don't I do this every day? If I know it's something that makes me happy, how come I just don't do it every day? And then I realize, I asked myself the wrong question. I said, how do I do this every day? And I do a little bit. And give yourself credit for all of the little things that you do. All right. Well, oh my goodness gracious. Well, I'm glad you're going to be safe where you are, Viejo. And I will hope that that continues on. All right. With that, Mr. DJ, you are up, my friend. So it was great seeing everybody this weekend. And I will be back next week. And I will be Tanner by then because we're going to be spending time out at the beach. And yeah. All right, sir. I leave you to your thing.
Well, what you have left me with is something that I can think about that will make me smile if I need it this week, next week, or any other time into the future, and that is you peering out from a huge collection of dirty laundry, like E.T. popping up through all those faces of stuffed animals in the closet in the movie. I'm just imagining your little beaming smile coming through and the pile parts, and there you are. Well, here we were, yet another Saturday here in each other's company. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Next week, bring a friend. And right after the show, think about reloading it and leaving a comment. It really helps the algorithm and it helps to get the message out to more folks. Some of the folks gathered here tonight. We had Viejo was in the room, Guns and Barbecue, Hillbilly Up, Abigail Sorsha Finnegan, DM Foss, Jamie JH586, Chris Brancato, the Atomic Punk, Gizzard Gary, Sorry Fan 93, Mike Bellinger, and Krabby Turtle was out there early. So everybody have a great rest of the evening. I will try and quickly grab the link to a chat coming up on the Hillbilly Up channel next. And so until we see everybody again, be safe, have fun, take care of yourself and your crew, and rock where